Borat Subsequent Movie Film comes to us from director Jason Woliner and is the long-awaited follow-up to Sacha Baron Cohen's revolutionary Borat film from 2006, which used the controversial Borat character to put a spotlight on the United States in the mid-2000s in an attempt to reveal some of the ugly truths and deep-rooted prejudice that was often ignored or glossed over by the general public. Cut to the year 2020 and America has become intensely more divided over human rights and politics since Borat's first journey to the United States, which has now prompted Sacha Baron Cohen to bring the Borat character out of retirement in order to reveal the deeply fractured condition of America in 2020. Of course, Borat isn't a character for everyone. He's purposely designed to be outrageous, absurd, and very adult, and deliberately spouts the kinds of racist and sexist comments that I'm sure people have heard at awkward family gatherings. Sacha Baron Cohen has said in the past that Borat essentially works as a tool. By himself being anti-Semitic, he lets people lower their guard and expose their own prejudice. And so going into either of the Borat movies, it becomes quite vital to at least have that sense of self-awareness of what the character really represents, and how Sacha Baron Cohen is using satire to provide important perspectives on current events, particularly with Baron Cohen purposely filming and interviewing real-life figures in character, often exposing underlying points of view that can certainly get people into a lot of trouble. Borat's subsequent movie film is structurally very similar to the first Borat film, in that Borat travels to America with a companion and undergoes a series of fish-out-of-water scenarios, meeting with various people of different belief systems and values. Although in this scenario, Borat is traveling with his daughter Tuta, played by outstanding newcomer Maria Bakalova, who very nearly steals the show from Sacha Baron Cohen. The film follows Borat trying to deliver his daughter to US political figures like Michael Pence, as a means of making amends for embarrassing Kazakhstan for the first Borat film. The only issue is that many people in the United States recognize Borat now, forcing him to disguise himself with an assortment of elaborate costumes whenever he goes out in public. And what transpires is 90 plus minutes of some of the most outrageous stunts that have ever been filmed, mixed with endearing character arcs for both Borat and Tuta as they come to terms with their prejudicial pasts and embrace a more progressive outlook on life, albeit with a very Borat twist. Despite all the absurdist lunacy and social commentary in the film, it is genuinely heartwarming watching Borat and Tuta bond over the course of the film, leaving the sequel feeling far more heartfelt than the original film ever did. We get to spend a solid amount of time with both Borat and Tuta, both on their own and together. And what becomes really rewarding is seeing Tuta gradually discover how much value she has as a person and rejecting the old stereotypes ingrained into her. In addition to just being really funny, it definitely helps Borat 2 feel more relevant and important than the first film, and helps it appeal to a wider audience, rather than just the guys that mimic Borat's voice at parties. Of course, the pranks and jokes can be gut-bustingly funny, often relying on clever uses of lost in translation misinterpretations, a little bit of somewhat tasteful shock humor, and of course the biting satire that Sacha Baron Cohen excels at. While some scenes will have you laughing at the top of your lungs, many scenes sit in that range of uncomfortable, reality-based humor, where you honestly can't believe some of the things that Sacha Baron Cohen gets away with, such as infiltrating a real-life Michael Pence convention dressed in a KKK outfit. There are times where I just couldn't help but be curious to see how situations would unravel, as Sacha Baron Cohen legitimately puts his life on the line for his work. If you haven't seen the film yet or had any of the scenes spoiled, I strongly recommend going into the film blind, as even though the film is still very funny and shocking on repeat viewings, nothing compares to the first viewing and trying to guess what's going to happen next. Borat's subsequent movie film does drag a little bit in its latter half, when Borat and Tuta are separated from each other. Although this time apart allows for Sacha Baron Cohen to get away with the more dangerous stunts in the film, I personally couldn't help but want to go back to them being together, as the character dynamic between Borat and Tuta, and their back and forth comments, make the first half of the film incredibly entertaining. Ultimately, Borat's subsequent movie film is the most passionate and heartfelt that we've seen Sacha Baron Cohen in a while. With his work, he's still exposing racism, sexism, and other prejudices in the ways that he did with the Ali G show years ago. There's just a refinement to this formula and to Sacha Baron Cohen's sensibilities here that just makes the film feel incredibly important and relevant, and I think we'll be feeling the ripple effects of this movie for years to come. Borat's subsequent movie film gets an 8.5 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you liked this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here for your mono fix. Bye guys.